Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. I recently got a look at the new JetBoil Stash, which is the lightest stove system ever produced. Like other JetBoil products, it uses their typical FluxRing technology at the bottom of the pot. Now the question is, does the FluxRing actually work? Stay tuned, we'll find out. Thanks for watching. According to JetBoil, the little folds on the FluxRing utilize a much greater surface area, dramatically reducing boil times and increasing fuel efficiency. Basically what they claim is that if you have a larger bottom pot, a larger diameter bottom pot, you'll get more surface area to accumulate that heat, and your boil time will go down and your fuel efficiency will improve. Now the Stash is a major departure for JetBoil. All of their personal stove systems before, whether it be the Flash or the Minimo, any of these, they actually have a stove that is securely mated to their FluxRing. So you get that FluxRing, you pop it into the stove top, you clip it in, and it's actually mated together. This means that the only way you could use that system with a non-FluxRing pot was to use an adapter that's readily available, but that adapter would raise the pot up away from the burner and increase your boil times. The Stash's titanium burner looks very much like a typical canister stove. It has normal pot stands that fold out, so you can put any pot right on top of it. The FluxRing pot does have a little area for it to nest into, but you can use any pot you want. So is the cost of the Stash worth the extra of buying, say, for example, an Evernew mug pot and using a pocket rocket, or a standard 750 milliliter pot like the Pathfinder Titanium, Toaks, any one you want to, combining that along with a typical canister stove? Those will probably be cheaper than the $130 you would pay for the Stash. So let's boil some water and see if the FluxRing really makes a difference. I will note that we're going to have the 5-inch FluxRing pot from the Stash, the Evernew 900 milliliter mug pot, which is 5 inches in diameter, and the titanium Pathfinder mug, which is 3.75 inches in diameter. If the FluxRing technology is correct, then we have a 5-inch Evernew pot and we have a 5-inch Stash pot. That Stash pot should act like a much larger diameter, which will lower the boil time and increase fuel efficiency. If we move down to the 3.75-inch Pathfinder, it should make it even worse than the Evernew. So we should see fastest FluxRing, Evernew, Pathfinder. Let's find out. So let's review those results. The FluxRing was definitely the fastest, 2 minutes 24 seconds faster than the Evernew, and 3 minutes 26 seconds faster than the Pathfinder. Now going into this, you would suspect that time equals fuel, and that's exactly what we found. The FluxRing used 4 grams of fuel, the Evernew used 7 grams of fuel, or 75% more fuel, and the titanium Pathfinder used 8 grams of fuel, which is 100% more fuel than the FluxRing. So could we have guessed before this test that it would actually work out, that the FluxRing works? I think you could, and that's pretty simple. You just go online and you search for similar pots. In 2001, JetBoil released this FluxRing technology, and people have been copying it ever since. And it's not just little Chinese knockoff companies. Very large, well-respected companies have made their own versions of the FluxRing, little tweaks here and there to call it their own, but it's basically the same thing, using redundant folds of material at the bottom of the pot to increase the surface area, to improve efficiency, and decrease boil times. So it's really not surprising that this design concept works, because people would not copy it if it didn't. So is it worth the price? For example, getting an MSR pocket rocket for 45 bucks, the Evernew pot for say 45 bucks, you could spend $90, $80, $90 versus the $130. Well, everything with money is individual. If you want to save fuel and you want to save time, then it's definitely worth the money. Numbers just don't lie. And we are talking about a significant amount, especially if you look at the same diameter pot. I love the Evernew titanium pot. It's nice and wide, 5 inches. I carry it day to day as my ultralight kit whenever I'm using an alcohol stove. I wonder if a FluxRing technology would help an alcohol stove work better. We're talking about 100% more fuel, 4 grams for the JetBoil, and a typical 3 3/4 inch diameter 750 milliliter pot, whether it be the Soto thermostack, the Toaks titanium, like we use today, the Pathfinder titanium. They're all about the same diameter because they're made to slip a Nalgene into. Well, I'll tell you, you're using twice as much fuel, and that makes a big difference out on trail. Many of us who focus on ultralight backpacking in the past have said JetBoils are just way too bulky and way too heavy. Especially with a $110 price tag for the Flash, why carry it when you can make something pretty similar for a lot less weight and less money? Even though it helped you boil water faster, it was just hard to justify the size and the weight. But the Stash being just over 7 ounces makes you really have to reconsider, is a JetBoil a viable option for ultralight backpacking? And I think this test shows that it really is. The Stash does what it's supposed to do, boil water very quickly, and the FluxRing technology that comes with it definitely works. If you haven't checked out the full review of the JetBoil Stash, I'll leave a link down below and somewhere up here in the cards as well. I have an entire playlist on stoves, make sure you check those out. Probably close to 100 videos now on all things stoves. Do me a favor guys, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up down below. Really helps spread things across YouTube and helps this channel grow. If you want to make sure you don't miss any videos, hit the subscription button and hit that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when I release new videos. I'm always trying to come up with more ideas to test stoves. If you guys have any comments or ideas, make sure you leave them down below and I'll check them out. I do think we're definitely going to do an alcohol stove video with the FluxRing, see if it helps, and see if it's a good mate for an alcohol stove on trail if you want to go even lighter. As always guys, thanks for watching the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos.